And so at this moment, I would like to ask if our beloved Dolores Cannon is available and if it would be appropriate to connect with her in case she has any message for us today.
We're here.
Hello and welcome. To whom do we have the honor to connect with?
Who do you want to connect with?
Well, my ultimate intention is to connect with Nikola Tesla.
He's here.
Okay. So, would he like to speak through our vessel today?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello, Mr. Nikola, and thank you very, very much for connecting with us today.
You're welcome.
I am very happy to be able to connect with you and talk to you in this way. And I will start by saying that I have been receiving information and nudges and that we need to connect, and I would like to ask you if there's anything you would like to say for as we start.
You're supposed to ask questions, and I'm here to answer your questions.
Okay, wonderful.
But it is good to be here. There are things we had wanted to say. There are things that need to be said.
So I might ask you, just to start off, something that I was recently reading from the connection that Dolores Cannon had with Nostradamus, and she was saying that she helped him as much he helped her. So in that way I would like to say to you that I am at your service, and I feel as if I am supposed to bring information through to shed some light to the work that you did while you were on this planet. Is this the reason why we are connecting?
Yes, there are things in my lab that I need to see.
There are things in your lab?
Yes.
That you need to see?
Yes.
What do you mean you need to see?
I left something in my lab.
In which lab? Which one?
I'm looking out at the window to see which one. It looks like winter outside, and it's dark from grey, and it looks like the lab I had when I was 16.
So young.
Yes. I left something on there. I left something.
You did?
Left.
You left. What was it?
I left something in that lab.
What was it?
I need to retrieve it.
Okay. So, how can we help you today to do that?
I have to find it. There are codes in... I've seen it. It's a paper. And there are codes, looks like Japanese writing. But they are codes, and I need to understand what that code is.
Where did you find this code?
I can't remember, but I left it in this lab.
Okay.
And now I'm looking at it. But I cannot make any sense of what that code is.
So you are there now?
Yes, and I'm looking at it.
Mm.
Can I write it out?
Of course. Give me a second, I will bring you paper. Okay.
Pen? Yeah.
That's it?
It is what I see.
Okay. And would you like to talk to us about that?
It was given to me.
By whom?
It was handed down to me by an old man I saw in the forest.
Who was that man?
I don't know who he is. He gave it to me and he asked me to decode it. And then in it there are codes that I need to develop something that has to do with magnetic fields.
How did this man look like?
Very old, in the woods.
And you met
He
him?
was very old and he was going to die. So he gave me this code, and I think I can see another one. There are 3 of the codes.
There are 3 more?
There's 2 more.
2 more? Would you like to write them down too?
Let me see. It looks like this, and in the middle, and this.
You said there's one more?
I have to see the other one. The paper is so old.
The paper?
The paper. It's very old.
Was that the paper that he gave to you, or was it
It
this
was.
one?
I hid it for a long time, and it's gotten rusted. I can't see the complete. I can't. The paper is like rotten.
Would you like to try? Or would you like that we go back in time to the time where he gave it to you that was still visible?
Okay.
Okay, so let's just allow yourself to just go back in time. We are moving backwards in time to the moment that you are in the forest and you are about to meet this old guy that gave you this very important message, and you are there now. Would you like to describe us the scene? How does this forest look like?
I was alone. I was coming back from school.
How old are you now?
I was 16 still.
Mm.
I was coming back from school. Hold on, I'm 14. Coming back from school. And I was alone. I was walking all by myself in this forest. And I met him. He seemed to have escaped something, and he looked so exhausted. And he's sitting under this very huge tree. And it's like he's waiting for me. And now I see him, he grabs my hand and he says, "Come here, boy. I have something to give to you." And then he brought this paper out and gave it to me. The paper is also old, but it still has the remaining of what was missing. And he said he's been carrying it for a long time and that he's not allowed to show it. And now he needs to give it to a younger person. And he said I should keep it until I'm able to use it, but I should hide it. So I hid it under the shelves in our lab. It looks like our school lab. but I'm always in this lab.
And you hide it there?
Yeah, under the lab, under the shelf.
Mm-hmm. So you can see the symbols now more clearly?
Yes, I can see the last one.
Okay, so we just then
write
it down.
The last one.
Mm.
It's a square like this. It looks like a lamp.
Mm.
I can see like a lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see the remaining one going this way. This is what he gave me.
Mm. And what did he tell you about them? What did this man told you about these symbols when he gave them to you?
He said a lot of codes are in these symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be coded because they needed it for power.
They? Who they?
I mean, it's a symbol that will be used when decoded on how to get power from the earth. That in the earth, inside the earth, power can be tapped. You can tap power.
He said that to you?
Yes, you can tap it from underneath the earth. The earth was supposed to lighten the surface of the earth, but you have to tap it from underneath it.
So this man seems to know a lot, right?
He knows.
Very wise.
He's been trying it himself. And the earth needs channels to bring this light to the surface. There are channels in the world where you have like pots inside leading into the earth, where you can channel inside the earth to bring the light out to the surface.
So there are specific areas.
Yeah, there are specific areas, and these are where the code is. This code is coded inside. This code, when they are decoded, you find these areas on the earth.
And these are like power spots.
Yes.
Are they deep into the
They are deep.
ground?
They are deep into the ground, but they are safe.
And how can you access them? With what materials? Or how can you tap into this energy?
When these codes are decoded, then you know how to tap into these energies, because these ports are open. They are open ports. They are ports that are meant to allow this to come up to the surface. This can be done without injuring the earth, without causing any harm to the earth, because this is what it is. Because the earth transmits power with the sun, and when it's doing that, it has ports from where the power comes from the inner earth to the sun, and we can tap from this power that the sun and the earth are exchanging. You can tap from it in a safe way that does not cause any injury to the earth. And you need this code. When they are decoded, you find access to the ports.
The codes that this man gave you?
Yes, that's what he said.
Where does he come from? Where?
I don't know where he came from, but I see that he was running away.
He was?
He was running away.
How did he look like? How does he look?
He looks tired and out of breath. He's so old. He just wanted to hand this over to me, or to any person who can take it and leave. And I was the one who was there at this time. I don't know why, but I was there at this time and he handed it over to me.
But you were already working with
I was
science?
already experimenting. I was already experimenting with electricity, with how you can put two things together to give you electric charge.
Okay. So it was important, this meeting you had with him.
Yes. I think. For him it was important, but I didn't know what to do with it.
You didn't know at that time?
No, I didn't know that time, and I left it there. I left it.
In the lab?
In the lab. And then something happened, and then we had to move. And now I need it. I need to bring it out.
Okay, so now you
it's
have it.
It's time to use it.
Okay, so now you have it.
No, I have it.
Okay.
And it needs to be decoded.
How is this going to be done?
Well, we have to figure this out. But it needs to be done because the earth needs it now.
Did this man give you any advice on how to decode them?
No, he didn't, because he was out of breath.
What if we ask him now? You think that would be possible?
Yeah, okay, but I don't know him. I don't know where he come from. I don't know anything about him. I just knew that he held my hand very tight, because I was going to run. I was going to run away because I was scared. So he held my hand. He held my wrist very tight, and he was shaking the whole time. And then he placed it in my hand, and he said, "I should run with it." He said I should run with it.
Why?
Because he was being pursued.
From whom?
I don't know who they are.
So it was a secret?
It was a secret, I think. It feels like that. They were chasing him to get that code from him.
So you have it now?
I have it now.
Okay. So how do we proceed now that you...
It has to be decoded. It has to be decoded. I don't know if I can decode it because I didn't know what to do with it then. And now it has to be decoded. And this is why I really need it to be decoded.
So, do you have any idea who could assist us?
To decode it? There are people on earth who can decode it now.
Now?
Yes.
So we should connect with the people that
can decode it.
Can decode
it. Yes.
Where will we find these people?
They might come to you.
Okay, so this is something that needs to
come out,
be worked out now.
Yes.
Because these codes, you said, they contain the
how to assess the ports,
so
where the ports are, and how to assess the ports.
I see. And which actually brings me to the question, is it possible that these power points are connected with pyramids?
Yes, they are, but they are not in the pyramids. They are connected to the pyramids. They are connected in the pyramids.
And why is that?
The pyramids were built for information exchange. It is a signal point from Earth to other planets. It's a connection point. The pyramids are connected to these ports because it's like just saying the ports supply the pyramid with the points, with the power that are in the pyramids. The source of the powers in the pyramid are coming from these ports, leading into the inner earth. Pyramids have power in them. They are built, it's like a big telescope with which you see outside earth and you communicate from other planets has a point of communication on Earth, and these pyramids are points of communication. But the source of the power that is in the pyramids are coming from these ports. So these ports power the pyramids. The source is coming from inner Earth through these ports to the pyramids. But the ports are not in the pyramid. The pyramids are drawing the power from the ports, from the inner Earth.
And are the pyramids located on top of these ports? Directly on top of them?
Some of the pyramids are, not all of them.
Okay, so in wonder which pyramids?
The Pyramid of Giza is definitely on top of one of the ports.
How many ports are there?
There are many.
I see. That's great.
There are many. There are many. Each port can supply a whole country.
Wow. What about the Bosnian pyramids?
It's also one of the Bosnian pyramid is a point of communication, but the port is not there.
What do you mean?
The port.
It's not under.
It's not directly under the pyramid. But it's connected to the nearest port to it.
I see.
Yes.
I see. How are you connected to these pyramids, the Bosnian pyramids specifically? Are you connected in any way?
Yes. I was connected by the placement of my birth.
Can you tell us more about that?
It was the purpose I came for. I was supposed to, for me it's natural, I was supposed to be there to bring these things. Let's just say I already have a programming for these electric things going on inside me, and being connected to this pyramid is like a magnet drawing me to it. So by the makeup of my DNA, I was already connected to it. So it's a natural thing for me. Like I'm part of it. Like I'm part of the program.
Which program you mean?
The program of the pyramid. There.
The system?
The system. I was already part of it, even at birth. It's already coded in my DNA.
In what way? What do you mean?
That's what I came to do. It's my programming. I was supposed to do the things I came to do, but I was not given all the time and opportunities to really work on it. But that pyramid had a lot that I needed to work with. But I was not allowed to. Too many obstructions. I was not allowed the freedom to do what I wanted to do.
With this pyramid specifically, with the Bosnian pyramid?
Yeah, with what is in the pyramid.
Did you have access finally to them or no?
Not as I wanted. I was not allowed. I was growing up and too many things that was distracting. And even when I had the opportunity to do it, I was still not allowed. It's like some people knew what is in the pyramid and didn't want me to do it.
Were people aware at that time that there were pyramids because they have been newly discovered?
No, the people were not aware, but there are few that were aware.
You were?
I was by nature aware.
So that was one of your missions that didn't come into fruition?
No, it didn't come into fruition. There was too many. There was too many people involved that my life was threatened many times.
Was it?
Because I needed something to do in the pyramid and they knew it. But I didn't know. But they knew. They saw me, they saw it, they saw what I was doing. They promoted it as much as they wanted, but they were still not allowing me information to get to the pyramid and do experiments in the pyramids.
What did you want to do inside this pyramid?
Like I said, there's something in the pyramid that is pulling me to it. It's like a magnet. It's pulling me into it. Something needs to be done in the pyramid. Something needs to be generated, because there are the tools we need to generate what we wanted is in the pyramid, but they will not let me in. They will not let me do the things I wanted to do. There was too much guides, too much rules, too much principles put in place to block the freedom that I wanted to express, to make these things come into being.
Where at that time that you were active and wanting to move forward this project, did you physically try to enter the pyramids? And
yes, I did. I ran away from home many times, but they will not let me into the pyramid because they know it was heavily guided. Some part of the pyramid are heavily guided.
From?
By the few who know what is in there.
Were there like human beings?
There were human beings who are working for other beings who are doing experiments in there. I felt it and I knew it. And I just wanted to go do something in there, but I was not allowed to.
You knew what you wanted to do there? You were aware?
I was aware there's something in there. I could feel it.
So you wanted to experiment?
I wanted to do my experiment there because it's a magnificent thing how power come into charges like that. And there's plenty of it inside the pyramid. So I wanted to go get some experiment done in there. But it's too tight. It was too tight.
So can you help us better understand how these machines work, the Bosnian Pyramids?
Let me see. So I was in there one time, or I don't know how many times.
You were physically inside the pyramid?
Yes, but again I was not allowed to experiment as I wanted.
So there was some kind of entrance?
There were entrances, but I don't know how I got in.
In which one were you inside? It seems like there's one main big one and several other smaller ones.
All of them have machines in them. All of them. Some of them that are not even visible, but they are there.
So yeah, some say that these pyramids are like machines that generate energy. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I did say the port where is the source of their power is not underneath this pyramid. It's nearby. So when they say it generates energy, it is generated from that nearby port that is leading into the inner earth. Because the pyramids are all on the surface of the earth.
Yeah.
But the source of generating this pyramid with power is from the port, and the port lead directly into the inner earth.
In what way? You mean there are tunnels?
They look like wells. They look like wells because they're coming out and in. When you look at the earth as round as it is, they look like wells inside. And then by ways of tunnel, they connect to the pyramids.
Are these tunnels underground?
Yes. All the pyramids are connected.
All the pyramids are connected?
All the pyramids are connected.
In what way?
Through tunnels, underground tunnels, all of them.
And what is the purpose of the Bosnian pyramids?
It's also for communication. It's also a point of communication.
What about the energy that they are connected with these pots? Do they generate energy in some way? And
yes,
if so, why?
Yes, all of them do. The earth has its own energetic field. And so it generates energy. Like human field have energetic fields that generate energy. So also is the earth.
So what is the reason of this pyramids generating energy? Was it just to energize the communication, or also something
with
else?
Every civilization, the energy on the earth is supposed to be used with every civilization have their way of tapping into it and making something out of it. Every civilization did it. And some of these pyramids are leftovers from previous civilizations. With the present civilization, what we are trying to bring into is to allow once again, allow humanity to experience the use of energy from the earth without harming it. There are safe ways of doing it without causing any harm to the planet.
Yeah, that's what you were also trying to do, right?
Yes. There is a natural way of doing it because this is earth.
Yeah.
There's a natural way of doing it without causing any harm. And all these connections, all these ports are there to generate power from the inner earth to the surface. And they do without them being blocked. It's because they were blocked. That is why some part of the earth can only feel it because it's a magnetic field, but cannot access it because they were blocked. And these symbols, codes, when they are decoded, are going to tell us where these ports are, that they can be reopened because they are blocked. They have been closed for so many years. And it's time to reopen it. And these are codes to open it.
And what kind of energy are we tapping into?
We'll be tapping into the earth energy, the inner earth energy, the energies we use for our power supply, the energy we use for what you call nuclei. We don't have to get it from a different planet. They are all here. And they are not destructive if they are used correctly. Everything we need is here. Nuclear power, we have it here. And we can do a lot of things with that. That is not destructive. We can use them for communication. We can use them to generate and to build machines that can help us do what we want to do. For example, our planes, they are already old. These are old. We need to upgrade. We need to evolve to use things. Wireless services everywhere. We don't need cables here and there. We can work without cables because these ports, once they are open, you don't need cables. Once they're open, everything can charge. You just put it outside with the sun and the earth, they charge it up. This is a natural way to charge up everything. You don't need sockets on the walls anymore. There shouldn't be sockets on your walls.
Yeah, I know what you mean. For me, it's like a prehistoric technology.
We have to grow from this. It's too old.
Yeah.
You don't need to build houses and put cables everywhere on the ground of the train station. You have too many cables. They are not healthy.
I agree, I know.
And what we are trying to do is to tell us, humans, you can do this without all these cables. It's a waste of material. They won't let me do it.
You tried a lot, huh?
I tried. They won't let me do it.
May I ask you a few more questions about the Bosnian Pyramids since we opened the subject?
Okay.
If it's appropriate, I would like to ask you if you could tell us anything about how were they built and by whom and when.
Let me see. When I first got there, it was already being constructed. We only continued it. It was already being under construction. We continued it. What do you mean in when? The foundation was already there. We didn't start it in the 18th centuries or 17th centuries. We didn't start it. The foundations were already built. They were already there. They were already there. We found it. We discovered it, and we continued from it. But they were already there. They were marks. They were already the marks had been there for previous civilization.
Yes, they say that they are thousands of years old.
Yeah.
They say that
They were already there from previous civilization. We only traced them and then we continued building. We were not allowed some information. It was not allowed.
Okay.
We were not allowed. There are so many things that were not allowed.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean not allowed? When? Now? Or then?
Even then, when we were building it, we were still not allowed some information. Even then, when we discovered it and building it, there are few people who have information but will not give it. They will not give it. They knew, and we know they knew. We knew they knew, but they didn't want to give us information. But we knew there were more, but we just don't know where they are because some of the pyramids, like I said, are still not visible.
Are they still working?
They are still walking. They are still alive. It's energy. They are still alive. They are still walking. But they are still not visible.
What can we do with them? How can we
let's work with the ones we have first. And then we can discover the ones that we cannot see. There are so many secrets on this earth. But the information is there. It's just they are not giving it out.
Do you know how we could improve them? This pyramid?
We can. If they allow it, it's even better now than my time. That a lot of things are being allowed now. So I think they can allow it if they press, keep pressing and pressing those few people who have information and don't want to give it out. You press them a little harder, and I think they will allow it to be renovated, developed. And then because it's all about signals, they give one another signal, the pyramids. So when one is developed, really developed, they can show us the signal, signal us to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, until the circle is complete.
What do you mean the circle is complete?
It's like in a circle. It could be a pyramid like this, but there are other ones around. In a circle.
So they are all connected?
Yes.
So as you say, there is already pre-existing energy that we can tap into.
Yes. It's always there. It came with the earth.
Is it also there in the universe, right?
Yes.
And how can we work with this pre-existing energy?
We are already working with it. Anything we do with energy, we are working with it.
With the free energy, without harming.
That's what I told you. There's in the code. What's that thing I drew? In those symbols. It's coded in there. How to tap into them without causing any harm to the planet. These are access codes to access them because they're already in place. But how to access them? It's just like you want to take blood from the vein. You know where to put the needle so you can get the blood without harming the body. That's exactly what we mean. It's this access code into the earth, into the inner earth. It's the access code into the inner earth to get this power up to the surface without harming the planet.
I wonder what kind of energy is in these pots that you're talking about. Is it like, we say, for example, geothermal? Is it like magnetic energy?
All of them.
Okay.
All of them. Every kind of energy can be converted. Energy is the same. It's just converting them into what you want. And that's why you have converters to convert this kind of energy into what you want. But the main source is the same.
So if you could describe, if we could just now, let's say we are there in front of inside this pot of energy, what is it? What does it look like? What is it made of? How does it look like?
It's light. It's light. Only light. It's light with a lot of waves.
Contained within a certain material. What kind of substance? Crystals. They are crystals. They are all contained in crystals. I see. What type of crystals? Are they the same or different ones?
They are different ones.
Mm-hmm.
They are different ones.
Mm.
The one I can see right now, I can't tell what color because the light that is beaming from it, I cannot see which color, but it looks like white.
And how big is it?
It's gigantic.
Mm.
And when I say gigantic, in my eyes, it is gigantic, but to the earth, it's not gigantic.
Mm.
It's not gigantic.
Mm. Yeah, but I guess we need to know how to tap into this energy, to translate it and to use it, right?
Yes. This is what keeps the earth alive.
The crystals, you mean?
The crystals is like it draws energy from space into earth.
Mm.
So earth is like a house, a powerhouse of energy, because it's drawing it in there. Although every planet has it in their own way, this is the Earth's. And it's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be free. It is free, actually. When you think of it, it is free. It's just people only need to wake up to it. The awareness is what they need. Because nobody can stop anyone who knows how to get energy from getting it in your time. Anybody can tap into energy field without anyone stopping them, but it's to have the awareness of it. But what we are talking about right now, about these pots, is how the earth can generate energy to help everyone. The reason why you have some places dark without power supply is because they are not aware that they can generate power or how to generate power. That does not mean that there's no power in that area. There is, but they don't know how to tap into it. That's just the difference. There is power everywhere, but the awareness of it and how to access it and this is this code. We really need to convert it to what we want. It's converting it to what you want. Otherwise, it's the same. And they are housed in these crystals. Like the crystals contain it. It's contained in the crystals, like
stored.
Stored, yes. That's the word, stored.
So how is the pyramid shape and the crystals assisting in producing this free energy?
How is the pyramid shaped?
I wonder the relation between the crystals and the pyramid shape. There must be a reason why
the pyramid are shaped like that.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why pyramids are shaped like this is because on the bottom of each pyramid is like a square, quadrant, right? In each point you have power beaming from it, and then in the middle there's another one. So they all come together and you focus it. It's just for focusing. You're just focusing it. Because if they are all scattered, then you don't have any focus. I mean, they will be beaming everywhere. But when you put them in order of geometry, you are focusing it. It's for focusing, and this is very important for geometry. That's why we use geometrical shapes to focus energies.
So the geometrical shapes, they...
Very important. Geometrical shapes, very, very important because they help to focus energies. And this pattern is the language of the earth, of the universe.
Exactly.
It's a pattern.
And then you talked earlier about all these tunnels.
Yes.
Under the earth, and the fact that all the pyramids are connected with these tunnels.
Yes.
I wonder what is the reason why they are connected with these tunnels.
Okay, civilizations ago, many civilizations ago, the earth was kind of in harmony with humans and with other species that were here at the time. And the intelligence of the earth was to channel these energies to specific points so that the Earth can communicate with other planets of our families, Earth family in other planets, right? Or let's say cousins, parents, other species in other entities, in other places. There's always communication. So this point where the pyramids are the point they find in the surface of the Earth fit for focusing these energies to where they need them. So the tunnels are meant to connect each pyramid to one another. It's just for connection and focusing of energy. So every pyramid has which planet is being focused, which planet or which place the energy is going to. Each pyramid has the direction it is beaming its energy to.
So what about the Bosnian pyramids? Where are they?
There are different places. There are different places.
Where are they connecting to?
There are planets they are connecting to. It's a communication going on. The whole galaxy is a galaxy of experiments and discovery and so many things. So there's a lot of communication going on and information transmitting from here to there.
So there's still communication going on?
There is still communication going on because these things are still functioning. It's still functioning. We are just not aware because after a lot of things have happened in different civilizations before leading to this civilization, some of these places in our awareness was blocked. But these ports are still open but blocked to us in our 3 dimension. Is blocked to us, and that code is what we need to decode, so we know where to find them and open it for us. Because for them of other planets, they can still get the information they need. It's still functioning. It's still okay for them.
What information? What would they need?
Information not just about humans, information of the planet Earth. Information of planet Earth, what is going on with Earth.
So there are some entities or beings that are receiving information from the Bosnian pyramid.
Yes, definitely. Yes, and other pyramids. That is why we have so many pyramids on Earth.
So the communication is ongoing.
It's ongoing every time.
But at this time it seems like it's one way. So it's like because we don't receive from them. It's only seems like because we are not using them. We do, but we are just not aware in our consciousness that it is happening. I see.
We are always communicating.
I see.
We are just not aware. We are not paying attention. We are thinking of small things. We are just not aware, but it is happening. It has never stopped.
You mean through the pyramids?
Through the pyramids.
Information to Earth.
Yes.
Through the pyramids?
It was distorted one time, but it did not stop. And that distortion has over time corrected itself. When I say correct itself, I'm talking about balance now. The Earth, not humanity. I'm talking about balance. It's correcting itself and it's being corrected to an extent, but it never stopped. With the transmission of information, it never stopped. If it does, that means Earth has been cut out of the Earth from communicating, like cut out and separated and left and abandoned. But that would have meant that, but it did not happen. This transmission is still going on. We have to be aware that humans are not the only one on the planet. We are not the only ones on the planet. There are other species here. There are other dimensions here. So if humans are not putting stuff in order, other ones are doing it. So they still need to communicate. And it's time for humanity to start taking part in this what is going on. It's time to start taking part in this communication, in this sharing of information, and evolve.
Mm-hmm. I truly hope so. I truly hope so. Is there any message you would like to say regarding our first contact in this way? Generally, anything you would like to say? I from my side, I would like to say that I am extremely happy to be able to make this connection. I'm very happy about it, and I don't know where it's gonna take us, but I'm very happy to be of service.
And I'm happy that you allowed it. I'm happy that you allowed it to come back here and try to complete something that was not finished. I get very sometimes emotional because it was not finished, and everybody got scared to do something about it. And now, with the present people on earth and the new people, the new humans that are coming, I think it's time.
Yes.
It's time. I'm happy this time it was made available to bring this up.
I feel the same, and I'm deeply in honor of you and your work. I really admire you for what you have done and what you tried to do, and I know that you didn't complete it in a way what you wanted to do, that it didn't come into fruition, that it didn't blossom. You didn't see success in what you wanted to do.
Yes, there was too much friction.
Yes, and I'm very honored if there's anything I can do to help and be of service in any way, because you did so much work, and I believe that this is the time on earth. It always was, but it's getting more and more urgent that we resurface your work. We bring this information through. Because if we continue like this, I know, you know, that we are just going to destroy this beautiful planet.
That's true. But we also have people who have it in a good intention to do something.
Yes, many.
Better now than in my time. We have more people who have positive intention these days than in my time.
Many have awakened.
Yes.
Back then it was even more difficult for you.
It was hard.
Yes, I can imagine.
It was hard. Everything has to be secret. Although we still have to be careful now because these people are still there. But there is more opportunity in this time than in my time. And I'm so grateful to you for allowing this to come true, for creating this opportunity. And you are doing what you're doing is your service is welcomed. You're also being of service. And what you're doing is just what you should be doing. I don't know how to say it in a way.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you once again for this honor, for coming through. And I am very, very much looking forward to connect with you again soon.
You're welcome. And thank you too. Thank you for the opportunity. There were people around, and I was in the middle. I was laying in this whole bed was in that middle. Was in the middle, and high.
And who was there? You said?
I saw Dolores there. I've never seen Dolores before. That's the first time. She was close. She was the closest to us. Then the other ones were more like in the background, right? And then so Dolores sat there quietly and smiling. Sometimes she was smiling. And then he arrived.
and all of my body just accepted it, because I was almost sleeping. I was like, again, I was going away, and then I just felt it from my feet up to my head, the way he dissolved inside my body. And then I don't know who is talking, said that he said, good that you're relaxed. So it was very easy for him to just dissolve. And then he didn't want to speak before, so he was encouraged by the ones around him to start talking and to start saying things. And then he went straight to that lab. It was as if this thing was his main focus. He went straight to the lab. Even before you asked, he was already in the lab looking for the shelf. That it was not a big lab, it's a small lab. Then he was already looking for it and finding it. And before he found it under the shelf, he was 16 at the time. By the time he collected it, he was 14. When he collected it. So because he did not know what to do with it. And the old man told him to keep it secret, to hide it. That was why he went, as a child sense, he went to put it under there. And it was there for so long.
So he never used it after?
He never used it.
Why?
I think that's why he was feeling agitated.
Why? He couldn't find it again, or what?
He didn't know. He doesn't know what to do with it. He didn't know what to do with it. He could not understand what the symbol is and did not know. I think at the time he felt like he forgot about it. Because some other things were going on behind in the background, because I was seeing this memory, I was focusing on this memory you were asking me to, and then some other ones were also going on. So he had a lot of things coming in and he was writing them down.
Yeah.
But he did not remember this one until he died. So when he went back there, he was still upset. He was still very upset with himself for not doing something with this. So that was what I felt. I felt the obsession that he was upset. He was really angry at himself for not finding this and doing something about it before his death.
Old.
He was very angry. Like he
died very old, but he didn't
complete. He went out of the whole system, right? Because I feel he was very upset. Things were coming to him. They were giving him information, things where he was writing them down.
I'm sure he was connected to other dimensions and he was receiving information from others.
He was angry. I felt he was angry, and of course I stay out of the way because I don't know anything. And then sometimes I'll be asking, so what now? What am I supposed to say? What are we supposed to say? And my higher says, well, it's not your business. Let the one whose business is it to answer. You don't have to ask. You don't have to say, what are you going to say? Leave him to, he's the one doing his deed. Allow him to answer his question. Because I didn't know anything, right? So, but I was feeling he's angry. He's upset. There was too many distraction, too many block. He said few people know what he was up to, and they were the ones creating all the blocks. They were blocking. So oh no, it was not a good time. Because we went back there and it was not a good time.
Of course, it was not easy for him. I mean, his life was very challenging. Yeah.
And he said he has been experimenting already with electrical stuff even when he was 14.
Crazy.
Yeah. But the grip on that old man's hand was really strong.
Yeah.
He was going. The guy just yanked him like this, and put this paper in his hand and told him, "Run, boy, run with it."
I wonder
because he was being chased.
I wonder who this man was.
I don't know, but I felt like he too was also working in a lab, and he too was getting information. That's the feeling I had, because like we most of the time you are focused on the question you are asked, but you can also see what is going on in the background.
Yeah.
So when you were asking Nicholas, now I'm calling him Nicholas. I've never called him Nicholas in my life. Like it's only when I see Nicholas, that's when. But now that I call him Nicholas, I call him Nicholas as a 14-year-old boy. Okay, so he didn't know he did not know, but I could see from the background that this other man was like a monk who was working also in a lab and has gotten information. And that information, he was working towards decoding it and selling it. Not sell and buy, but exposing it. And these people, because they know what it is, will not allow it. So they were chasing after him to collect this code from him.
These symbols are interesting. They look almost like hieroglyphs or extraterrestrial light language or something. It doesn't. Of course, it's like drawings. They don't. They don't look like any language on Earth.